Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the Manchester City Show, Mandem United podcast meets the Mandem City podcast, where we discuss both Manchester clubs. People, Rashford and Martinez are back in training for Manchester United. So both of those players now could play against Arsenal, and obviously Arsenal are running down Manchester City in the title race. And speaking of the title race, Manchester City just need 3 wins for the four-peat. So despite what goes on at Old Trafford on Sunday, if Manchester City win their final 3 games, they will four-peat the league, people. So please keep all your comments or your questions Manchester United or Manchester City related. And before I introduce, obviously, my co-host, who's representing Manchester City, hit the like button on the video. Whether you're watching this live right now, watching this back, hit the like button. It's so important you do that. Please share across all the socials. That's me, Flawless, at Sarcasm City TV, across all the socials. And on top of those two things, make sure you subscribe to the channel, Sarcasm City TV as well, and hit the notification bell. And let me bring in my co-host. Obviously, Thursdays, this will probably be the new time for the show. Man like Vader is in the building. Yes, Vader, what are we saying? Always do the great intros, man.
Hey, yo! What's good? What's good? I had to get the press conference background all set up because
Talk about it.
there's going to be a lot of talking tonight, Flawless. Going to be a lot of talking tonight. And you got a big match. You got to do it press conference style. I think, hopefully you haven't done a lot of talking tonight because I will be asking you some questions because I want to know what's in that brain of yours going into this game. But yeah, man, bless having me on the channel again. And been feeling pretty good. You mentioned that there's only 3 games left. Only three games. We'll get into it, man. We'll get into it. Let me just get myself nice and comfortable. Those of you on Spotify, you're missing out. You're enjoying the show 100%. But listen, there's a reason why this is also done on YouTube. There's some things you just don't get a chance to experience on Spotify. You don't get to see the entrance. You don't get to see Flawless and that little slick look in his face when he's talking on rivals and he's talking on Manchester City. But listen, we're gonna get into it. Hopefully it's all good. Wow, already. I love it. Bless.
The setup's fire. Justice is right. The setup is 16 out of 10. Best entrance, best setup on in its content creator space, 110%. But it ain't a slick look. That's the thing is, shout out to Connor. I did the United Arsenal preview on his channel. And people was getting TJ was on my case, Connor. Everyone, the entire panel, even Sheik, who's supposed to be my guy, was on my case about how I talk on the rivals and how I ask questions and how I quote unquote set people up. I don't set people up. Like people just express themselves. I just ask questions.
You're saying you don't set people up. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, never.
Okay.
How can I set you up by asking you a question that I may or may not know the answer to? I don't force people. People answer however they want to answer. Because we were talking about Tony and the whole stars aligning. I got blamed for that. I didn't even ask him a question. He said that off his own back. He said the stars are aligning for Arsenal. Like last week, he said, no, the stars aren't aligning. He said they're realigning for Arsenal. After they
realigning.
They're realigning now. That's what he said. But yeah. Well, you know what I'm saying? We'll get into all of that, but big up to Adjusters, big up Joe, big up Sheik in the cut as well. All the regulars, all the new people. Like I said already, hit the like button. Make sure you share across all the socials. Subscribe to the channel. Vega, let me ask you. Surely this is done now. 3 games, you know what I'm saying? Wolves was quote-unquote the toughest game on paper, but you're away at Fulham, away at Spurs, then at home to West Ham, I believe, right? Is that right saying that? They're the 3 games left. Surely this is sewn up. I think it's done.
I mean, I can see why you would think that. I can see why you can think that. And those again, listen, I'm telling you, YouTube, you guys already know this. You guys can look. You see the platinums. They're coming through a lot more now, right? The platinums are coming through because that's showing the wisdom, the experience. All right. And to close out this league, it's going to require experience, but it's also going to require wisdom to take one match at a time. All right. Now, Fulham, we got them next, but Wolves before that, thought it was going to be a tricky one because they were able to take points off of us early in the season. We don't have many losses. They're one of them. All right. And I was like, you know what? We got to show respect to them despite us being the superior team. However, I think the worst thing to have happened to this league for everyone that was hating on Manchester City, everybody that didn't want this 4P to happen, listen, us being knocked out by Real Madrid, mind you, it had to go to penalties, but us being knocked out by Real Madrid was a unfortunate silver lining for Manchester City, but a dark cloud, a gray cloud for the rest of the league, for everyone that didn't want us to win this, because we're playing one game a week. And when Pep's got a week to prepare for an opponent and players are back healthy, it's long. It's long. So I didn't expect that result against Wolves. Listen, I was saying 2-1, 3-1, probably comfortable. Nothing crazy. I knew we wouldn't keep a clean sheet for whatever reason. We can't do that. But 5-1, and that performance that Erling Haaland, one of your greats, Roy Keane, wants to say he's a League Two player. Listen, Haaland hears it all. He hears it all.
Yeah, I think that was a bit harsh. And Roy Keane, my guy, but
A bit harsh.
It's a bit harsh.
See, that's the United and flawless. That's man saying a bit harsh. That was absolutely rude. That was absolutely rude. If they were both sitting at the bar, that would have been take that glass, smash it. We're fighting right now. That was crazy. He's not a League Two player. That's wild. Now, if you don't like how he looks in terms of how he does what he does, that's one thing. But he doesn't score like a League Two player. He's not clinical like a League Two player. Now, had Roy Keane said that previously in the season, after watching like many Liverpool games, I would have understood. If he was like, oh, that 80-something mil that Liverpool spent on Darwin Núñez, if he was going to talk about League Two, I'd get that. But for those words to only come out of his mouth for the first time, and he's applying them to Erling Haaland, the league leading goal scorer, he smashed that record last season. Nah, Roy, you're wrong for that. And if it was olden times, Mens would have had to take off that white glove out of respect and slapped you in the face. That was absolutely rude. You don't move like that. Now, Erling hears it all. Unfortunately, listen, everybody's on these social medias right now. And I know some players they manage it. They only have comments on, or they only post it, or only deal with it, or they got someone else dealing with it. But the funny thing is, everything, positive or negative, gets to the players. We know this. Whether it's through a friend, through a family member, you see how they're talking to you on social media.
They know. Play
100%.
Yeah, I agree.
100%. So I think, and I'm happy for it, what Roy Keane did. If there wasn't enough motivation to go out and win this league, and for Erling Haaland to go out and maybe retain this golden boot, it's there now. Because that clip was everywhere. Everybody was talking about it. And man just came out and scored 4 goals. 2 pens, which I love. I got a penalty taker that I have a penalty taker. For those of you on Spotify, you can't see this. You're only hearing this. But let me explain. I'm taking my 2 fingers and I'm holding it just below my neck. You know when you're trying to catch your pulse?
Yeah.
When Erling Haaland is about to take a penalty, check any city's pulse. Anybody. Any City fan, check their pulse. Calm. Flat line, steady, no stress. This man is like that. And I had a show earlier today. Haven't felt like that since Balotelli was at the club, because man was clinical. Man was nasty with it, and he was cold-blooded. So we got that. Large up. We got that in Erling Haaland, and man, the 4 goals. Don't tell me that this man's a tap-in merchant. Don't do that. Don't do that. As soon as you do that, you show me your immaturity. As soon as you do that, you show me that your bars are stale and old. You got no new material.
I think Eli's saying there, because he's saying, to be fair, I think he was more saying if he doesn't score goals, what does Haaland do? And people are just and we've spoken on this show about his overall game and him needed. And I think that is a fair criticism. I think
it's not. Nope.
You don't think he needs to game?
No, listen, Roy Keane. If he doesn't give you goals, what do you want him to do? You want him to do what Harry Kane does?
No.
No. Flawless. One sec. Oh, you want a complete player like Harry Kane, because that's the difference maker. Because that's what gets you these trophies. I'm dead in all of that. Everybody that wants to say Harry Kane, the complete player, look at what you can do. Oh, well, look at what you can't do with a complete player in Harry Kane. It's not that simple. So let's relax. I've said this, and I'm going to continue to say this. If the ops are going to choose to shut down the supply line and make sure that 2, maybe 3 defenders are going to make Erling Haaland's day a living hell, and he's not going to get any joy, I'm expecting my other 10 players to step up, and that's where the gaps are. That's where the opportunity is. So it's never that simple that, oh, if he doesn't give you goals, what does he do? Well, if he doesn't give you goals, there's a reason, because he's not marked one-on-one. If he's marked one-on-one, he's killing you. And if he's having a quiet day, that opposition team, they're busy. More than one guy's paying attention to him. So Roy Keane, you need to relax on that one. But keep talking, because that'll probably have Haaland go and score 5 and 6. Do something madness like that.
All guns blazing. No, I see it. I don't think it's about being a complete player. I think it's just about adding to your game, which every player should do, in my opinion. Every player, whatever you're great at, you should still be adding more to your arsenal.
I agree with that one. I agree with that.
In regards to Haaland, like, we all know Haaland is a phenomenal goal scorer. No one's ever doubting that. Do I think he needs to add to his game? Yes, and you mentioned him about teams setting up to stop him and having 2 players on him or 3 players on him. And I always say this about that. Hey, welcome to the highest tier of the highest level of football. Because any attacker who has success, that happens to. And then what I always say is, you know what? Find a way. If you're, you have to add to your arsenal, because we've seen it. Mbappe, my favorite player currently, he was awful in the Champions League semi-finals against Dortmund, and he was awful the tie of the quarterfinal before. In the quarterfinal tie against Barcelona it was. And he has 2 free players on him, because you're going to get extra attention. Yes, the opposition is going to set up defensive plays to stop you. However, you now have to find a way around that. And I've said that about Mbappe. Hey, you know what? Figure it out. And I put Haaland in that bracket as well. As good as a striker you are, if you add more to your game, because you got the goal scoring down.
Flawless.
You know, even if you just link up. But yeah,
I'm in agreement. I'm not saying that he's a complete player. Man's 23, 24. I'm not saying he's the final deal. He's not. He hasn't mastered all of the different. For those of you old school kung fu movies, he hasn't mastered all of the different styles yet. But what he does set him apart from many others. The fact that he scores the goals the way he does is important.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Now, if Roy Keane's saying he needs to add to his game, because Thierry Henry, I respect it too. He said, listen, Haaland there's more that he needs to do. And a couple things, they said he needs to be better in the air. He needs to be better with his headers.
Yes.
If you didn't see that goal versus Wolves, I'm not saying it's not Cristiano Ronaldo like when that classic when he's soaring in the air and he just happens to get that header. But Haaland rose up and he scored a goal with a header, and he scored a goal with a nice curl left foot. He's left foot dominant, and curled that last goal for the 4th. Phenomenal. And I'm blessed with quality. Now,
must be nice.
It's nice. It's nice. I mean, it's my turn. Wallace, it's my turn. You hogged it. You hogged it for so many years. All right. Okay.
Yeah, we should have carried on hogging it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. We've had this before. You know what I'm saying, Vader? It's all well and good when it's you. It's all fair and game, but it's not fair. That's what it is. I let you know the biases. It's not fair. Yes, we had great success for a lot of years. And now I don't like the fact we're no longer having it. But yeah, it's all great when it's you, but go on, carry on.
It's cycles. It's cycles. It's my turn.
Yeah, it's cycles. Yeah, it's cycles. Yeah.
But with regards to what I'm being blessed with is Haaland gives me 4 goals. Pep subs on Julian Alvarez. And that's the 5th goal. So if my players can continue doing this, and I didn't even talk about the midfield, but they were doing their thing. We surrendered a poor goal in my opinion, but we responded right after. And maybe that goal was just to give that hope to the rivals and Arsenal. Oh, Wolves got one. Maybe it's a game. No, we did that. Now, we did that. We made them excited, but we had to kill it. Now,
you're such a troll.
The performance was great. Everyone's healthy again. Pep's got decisions to make on who starts, but this week's tricky. Because we do play Fulham away. I'm not saying that we're not expected to win. Listen, before you clowns in the chat say, "Oh, there's Vader playing the underdog," I don't do that. I don't play the underdog. That's the brand for someone else. That's a brand for. I'm not even going to say who that brand is, but
fans, Arsenal fans, basically. He's saying Arsenal fans.
I'm saying Arsenal fans. Unfortunately, Arsenal fans and Liverpool fans, for whatever reason, when they're trying to go for this title race, it's always they do the underdog narrative. Now, I'm expected to win versus Fulham. The reason why I'm saying it's tricky is because I got to play Fulham, and then on Tuesday, so Saturday, Tuesday, I got to play Spurs. And yes, before you guys roll your eyes again, Spurs are my bogey team. I don't get it. I don't know why.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go is what Wallace wants to say, as he
Here we-
doesn't even want to show the respect of what Spurs have been to me. I get it. You have calm.
No,
calm
to what
times.
they've been to you, but one, you've won there this season, so let's not just bypass
Not in the
that.
league though. Not in the
And
league.
not in the league. And number two,
Yeah,
they
but
are
that's
what-
important,
and
Flawless.
number two, that is important. I agree
Because-
with that. But
yeah.
outside of your poor record there, everything going into that game is in your favor.
No, I'm not letting you. I'm not letting
Okay,
you.
so what else is okay? So tell me, outside of your poor record there, what else is in
So
their
the poor
favor?
record leads into, because the only reason why I won is because they have some type of allergic reaction to cups. So that's why I was able to get the win in the cup run. But when it comes down to now league play, when I go there, and since that place has been created, I don't know what kind of hoodoo voodoo, I don't score there. Flawless. It's not a matter of me not. I don't score there, so that's why this is really important. And another thing is, I wish they actually had wins going into this game. The fact that they've had so many losses in a row.
They're the worst team in regards to form going into this game. They've lost 4 out of their last 5.
I hate stats like that.
They're the worst team going in. They're the worst team going. Like, let me just double check that. I don't think anyone else has lost 4 in 5. Let me look. Oh yeah, tell a lie. Second, Sheffield United have lost their last 5. So outside of Sheffield United, they are the worst team in form in the league. Even Burnley have 1 win in their last 4.
I don't like that. I don't
Luton
like that.
Town they've got 0 wins in their last 4, but it's a draw and 3 losses, and they're the teams propping up their championship level sides. You lot are going to batter Spurs. I'm telling you that now. Spurs.
I mean, we don't speak again before that game, so we'll get into that. But Fulham again.
Yeah, we'll talk. Actually, it drops after it because that's the Wednesday game, right? So yeah, we'll talk.
Tuesday game. That's a Tuesday game.
Oh yeah.
So I'm playing Saturday, then Tuesday.
It's Chelsea and Manchester United on the Wednesday. Got you. We might have to switch stuff around, and we'll talk.
We'll make it work. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's going to be an intense week, and I believe Liverpool play on Monday. Liverpool, they're not in the title race anymore, right? Like they've decided that they're not in it. I think that's the case. I think they've said mathematically, I know they're still in the title race, but I think as a fan base, they've given up.
See, if I said what you said, then I would get clowned for that. But carry on. You know what I'm saying? Carry on. Liverpool still in the title race. If I said that, Flawless, you're terrible, this, that, and the third. No one in the chat saying anything, but if it's BC Flawless, you know what you're doing. Hey.
They know you. They know you well. That's why they know you well.
Just to clarify, no, Liverpool are no longer in the title race. No, Arsenal are in the title race, but they're gonna finish second. But they are technically in the title race.
Okay, I see what you did there. Okay. I mean, the Liverpool fans have given up.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it looks like that the new brand of mentality minions. That's catching. That's on. That's them. Now,
big up Lex as well.
Yo, Lex in the building. I think we have what's going to be a final Sunday madness. Honestly, I don't think there's any drop points between myself. I'm not even looking at Arsenal to drop points. I don't even think they would drop points because there's no pressure on them.
You think Arsenal beat us on the weekend?
I do, man.
Scoreline?
Flawless. It's gonna be ugly. Like it's gonna be
3-4-5.
I think it's gonna be ugly in a sense. So they just scored 3-0 versus Bournemouth. And Bournemouth, they're a decent side. I mean, they're not Arsenal quality, but they're a decent side. I think they win comfortably like that against you guys. I think with it being a clean sheet, the only 2 players I think could cause problems would be if Rashford and Bruno play, and I don't even know if they're healthy. You'd have to tell me.
It's in the title. Rashford is back in training. Bruno, we don't know yet.
He's back in training, okay, all right.
Yeah, that's why I put it in the title. So all right, so let's flip it. So let me ask you the same thing, because you're saying also Arsenal's record at Old Trafford is worse than City's at Spurs.
Yeah, but now the question is, who's been looking worse, Spurs or United
Recently, Spurs.
recently?
We've been awful, yes. But we've both been bad. Before I even get into the debate, we've both been horrific. Spurs have been terrible. Like someone mentioned in the chat, or who they face, Spurs have been awful. Even before, again, too much results-based analysis. Even before Spurs started losing games, Jez has been on his channel talking about these performances are not good. I don't know if Jacob's been saying the same, ain't spoke to him like that. But Spurs' performances have not been good, people. Let's take away the fact that they played Arsenal and they played Liverpool as of late.
Like but those are the two best. This is what I'm comparing it to because they played against the 2 and 3 in the league, right?
Yeah,
or 1 and 3 in the league.
Okay,
Like
all right. We'll add into it the Chelsea performance where they were horrific. Got battered by Newcastle away 4-0. We just bypassing that. No, bear in mind, that's not a Newcastle that's fully flying in regards to injuries and things.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
All right, they beat Forest. They drew away at West Ham. Got past Luton. Lost 3-0 to Fulham. Battered Aston Villa, and that was early on in March. Yeah, and then they had good form before. But even that, then they beat Palace 2-1. But even the back end of February, lost 2-1 at home to Wolves.
No, I hear it.
Their form been sketchy is the point I'm making. Whether you think United is worse, I'm just saying is the fact that our form and their form is not too dissimilar. And their record, Arsenal's record at Old Trafford is worse than yours at Spurs.
Okay. This is interesting. All that being said, if you have attacking threats, and I think the way you guys are composed right now, it needs to consist of Bruno and Rashford. It needs to be those two. I still get why?
Yeah,
I've seen what Rashford has done against Manchester City. For whatever reason, those two players in particular, they always show up.
You're giving Bruno too much credit, but Rashford, I hear it, as bad as he's been, because he has a very good record against the Big Six. He has it in terms of goal scoring. He has a very good record.
But Bruno, in terms of again, I mean, I watch with my eye. Whether it's the pass before the assist, like he's been a problem for Manchester City. Now I don't know whether it's been the same case for Arsenal because Arsenal, I think they'll run all day, like the way, and they will comfortably play and say we'll leave here with a 1-0 if we have to. Like when they want to talk about boring, pragmatic, or risk adverse, that's them. So. I just don't think you guys have enough quality in the midfield to make it problematic. Now,
Bruno Fernandes, man.
What Bruno does well won't work well versus Arsenal because Arsenal don't need to commit that much in attack. They could actually look for Odegaard, Saka, and whether it's Havertz or Trossard, whatever, they could actually choose to kind of like attack with 3. Oh shoot! Sorry, man. 1 second.
Oh, good. Do your thing, man. Do your thing. It's all good. Hey, run up the likes, people. Run up the likes. Are you not entertained? Continue to get your questions in. Of course, if you super chat, I'll get to your mate. That'll make sure your question gets answered, people, as well. We just spoke about Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford and those two being back in training as well. No, sorry. Rashford is back in training. Lisandro Martinez is back in training. I think Bruno will play. Why no credit for Bruno? His GNA stands up to John because I look at football more than GNA. That's why. Just because you're putting up numbers, goals, and assists does not necessarily mean you are a good player. That does not necessarily mean. Bear in mind, our attack sucks.
It's not about being a good player. I'm talking about being a problem in this game. Bruno, I would
not
agree.
To you, because John asked me, he said, why no credit for Bruno? So I'm just explaining as to why. Because he said his GNA stands up. And to me, you need to have more than goals and assists. Goals and assists alone is not enough for me to go, oh yeah, such and such. Bear in mind, watchers, our attack sucks. It sucks this season and it sucked last season. Who's a main part of that and a key component of that? Just saying. So that's why. It's not solely him. The rest of the attack are too.
So let me do this. When did Bruno look his best? And who was in the midfield in support?
Pogba, and Pogba was the main one. And then we had Martial, Rashford. That's the best
Bruno. Was Bruno, Fred, and Pogba, or?
Nah, it was during the lockdown period. I can't remember who played a lot. It might have been Matic in there. Was it Matic? Maybe Fred played. Maybe McTominay. The chat will know better. But I remember the attack in particular was Martial, Rashford, Greenwood, and then it was Pogba. Like the Oli period. Like that period. Like the first half, because he joined during January. So that half of the first season that he had, and then the second season, that's the best of him in terms of goals and assists. And then all of a sudden, the goals and assists dried up.
But you can also say the quality around him is lessened.
That is also true.
So, all right. Listen, unfortunately, I think it's going to be a long weekend for you, for Staffy, for Sunshine. I'll
tell you why. You know why?
No.
I'll tell you why. No. I'll tell you why. I'm going to cut you off. You know why? Because even if Arsenal win this game, which I don't think they will, they lose anyway. Because I think you lot win your 3 games anyway. So even if they win, they lose the war. You win the battle and lose the war. So all that celebrating and all that jumping up and down they're going to do, I'm going to go, all right, so you're not going to win the league then. All of a sudden, all of a sudden, the smiles and all that joy is wiped off Arsenal fans' faces. Ask an Arsenal fan that question. Ask anyone, whether it's the Troops, whether it's a TJ, whether it's a Sad. Shout out to Lee Gunner, Northside. Well, not so much Lee Gunner and Northside because they know, but ask him. Ask an Arsenal fan, anyone that you're friends with. When they're trying to banter you, for Manchester United fans, you have to be able to rebuttal. You have to be able to stand on your own too. Ask them that question. All of a sudden, they get stumped. I'm saying, all of a sudden, I asked that to Sad on CMO Sports, and it's, the thing is, nah, you gonna win the league, yes or no? And I laughed.
The thing is,
always the thing is, and this and that. And Tony had asked Tony that he can't answer the question. Rebuttal, man. I've already got my exactly, Eli. You know why I'm a flipping crook? Because you know I'm right though. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not one of the ones who's going to jump up and down because you've remained consistent because you're a very intelligent and don't drink the Kool-Aid Arsenal fan, Eli. So I wouldn't ask that to you because we never get into that. But let's say, hypothetically, the general consensus is right and they batter us at OT. Yeah. Say it's 4-0, 5-1, etc., etc.
Nah, 3-0. 3-0.
Oh, 3-0. But let's say it's 3-0, 4-0, 5-1, 6-2, whatever the case may be. It could be a record breaking. They could say, let's say they smack us 8-2 for that comeback. Ooh. Yeah. It's all bad on that day. And then you know what happens? Tomorrow hits. Now you're going to win the league. Kind of like when Liverpool beat us 7. It was all great running and fun and jokes. Cool. Awful day in Manchester United's history. One of the worst as a Manchester United fan. Yeah. However, all right, then the next, what did you win that season? Or does it just go down as a great win? I'm just saying. But I look at things different. Like people are like, oh, you coping. When I said we've had worse defeats than that Liverpool 7-0. Because I look at things from an overall perspective and not a singular game. See my team go out. I've seen my team lose Champions League finals, Champions League semi-finals, Champions League quarterfinals, FA Cup semi-finals, FA Cup finals. When we were the better team and should have won. That's much worse than getting battered by a rival. On the day, it's horrible.
It's true. But now, I understand last season it really not bunning you like that because Liverpool weren't playing for anything. They weren't playing for the title last season. Yeah. But this year, because Arsenal mathematically,
they're playing for the
top of the league. They're playing for the title.
Facts.
It would be tough. It would be tough because funny enough, Arsenal have been able to get wins off of.
Talk about it.
Manchester City, Liverpool. Mm-hmm. You got if it happens the way it happens at Old Trafford. That's going to be, again, their list of victims is going to be long. So,
John, I've seen it. I get to it, John. I've seen it. Go on, carry on.
I see your point with regards to you still need to. I still need to hear what do these wins mean? What do these beheadings mean in terms of the entire season?
They win the, you know what I'm saying, the We Challenge trophy. That's what they get.
All right, I see how you're moving. Now,
is that not the facts of the matter?
It is. It is.
Now we challenge, and that isn't aimed at like an Eli because he understands what it is. But I'm talking about Arsenal fans will talk like the season has been a great season and such a success. It's like, no, you lot should have won. Really and truly.
No, you can't do that to them, Flawless. You can't do that to them. It has been a successful season. Even at this point, because
So if they don't win the league, it's been a successful season.
Yeah, it's been a successful season
so
for Arsenal.
The bar for them is finishing second then.
No, I don't think it would be. It would be a. It would be a. All right, sorry. Maybe success is the wrong word. Arsenal
Yeah,
fans,
yeah, yeah.
you let me know if success is the wrong word. If you happen to finish
Success
second,
is
but
definitely one word. Arsenal are a huge foot. I bantered him, but don't get me mistake. I have nothing but the utmost respect for them. Finishing second is not in particular. I'll go one further. Arsenal should have won the league this year. When
whoa,
they
whoa,
don't
whoa,
win it,
whoa,
when you lot win it, they should have won the league this year. They should have won the league last year, in my opinion. They should have
whoa,
done.
whoa,
They should have.
whoa,
They should
whoa,
have went
whoa.
back to back.
Nah, you're doing too much. They haven't won back to back in a
No, no,
Primera.
no, no. In their history, no, no, no. I'm saying no. They haven't. I'm saying they should have. They should have won last season. If you're on top of the league
Nah,
for
you're doing too much. You're
93%
doing
of
too much. You're doing too
Veta,
much.
Veta. I flip it on its head, Veta. Come next season, 2024/25 season. Pep Manchester City. You lot playing great football on top of the league for 93% of the time.
93%. Yeah.
You would pull your hair out and pull your beard out if you didn't win the league that season. And that goes for me, a Manchester United fan, you as a City fan, anybody else.
No,
They
I'm
should
with
have won the league last season.
Yes. Okay. They should have won it.
And then this season, look at the daft points they've dropped. Look at some of the games. They lost to Fulham and West Ham.
Yeah.
So say
Aston
they would
Villa.
have beat.
Yeah.
Let's say take Villa out of it because Villa are actually a good side. So I'm just looking at their worst results. Let's say they lost to. I don't know who. Eli, let me know who else you lot have lost to this season if anyone else knows in the chat. But they
Well,
lost to
they have
Fulham.
5 losses this season. So
Okay, 5 losses. So one's Villa, one's Fulham, one's West Ham. Who are the other two? Let me know in the chat, please.
Newcastle. And they were
Newcastle.
crying about that one.
Yeah, they were crying about that. Villa and Newcastle, fairs that can happen. 2 decent teams. It's like they're 2 top 6, top 7 teams. Who's the other one? Let me know in the chat, please.
West Ham. The London teams were messing them up.
Aston Villa twice. So Aston Villa twice. Fulham.
West Ham, Fulham.
Yeah. All I'm saying is imagine losing the league because you lost to Fulham and West Ham. That's what's happened this season.
Okay.
Effectively.
All right.
And on top of that, we'll go one further. Let's say United take points off them. So the worst Manchester United side statistically and on the eye test, Fulham and West Ham. If this is me, and bear in mind, this is me who've seen Manchester United lose league titles, and I go back and look at it and go, oh, this is where we lost the league title. And you look at certain results that happened and things of that nature. I'm pulling my hair out. They should have won. I stand on it. City, as good as they are, I don't think have been great this season, and they will win the league. But when you look at where they are in the table, let's say they have an extra 6 points. They're clear.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Fulham and West Ham, not Villa home or away, who are going to finish in the top 4. Not Newcastle, who will probably finish in the top 6, and that's a tough place to go away from home. Fulham and West Ham.
No, I'm with you. Now, I just had to I hear they should have won it last season, leading the league for 93%. I agree. They should have won it last season. They shouldn't have let Manchester City get back into it. However, I think had they won it last season, they're not going back to back. They're not. There would have been
maybe not because there would have been more pressure. There would have been more pressure. But the point I'm making is when you look at the 2 seasons from it, obviously context matters in regards to you would have more pressure going into the next season. But
you're talking
look at the 2 seasons,
I got
you. I'm looking at the 2 I don't think you get, and I've been making this point, you don't get many great opportunities to win a Premier League title where things fall in your favor. It's a very, very tough. This is why you don't see many teams win it, number 1. Number 2, this is why you've seen only a handful of managers win it back to back. As good as Liverpool have been, as good as Klopp is, and I think Klopp is a fantastic manager. Liverpool, great club. Look at the quality of players Liverpool have had at their football club in the past 5-6 years. World-class, top-class quality players, and they've won it one time. You don't get great opportunities in terms of the opposition. I don't think City are going to be, you're not going to get any weaker, in my opinion.
That's where I'm in agreement. Yeah.
You either stay the same or you improve. So all I'm saying is it's tough enough battling Manchester City for a league title in general. But if they are weak in Manchester City, you are not. You have to capitalize. City did nothing more to help Arsenal last season and this season when in regards to City's transfer dealings and the players they lost, and you still couldn't finish above them. Still.
We were vulnerable. They should have seen the weakness in what we were doing last season as well as this season, and they didn't capitalize on it. I do agree. We're not going to remain this way moving forward. But I'd also be surprised if Arsenal don't splash the cash again like they did, because again, they record signing last season, getting Declan Rice, right? And a lot of them.
The second expensive signing?
Who was their second most? I think it was Pepe.
No, no, no,
And
no, no. I'm talking about the season.
this past summer, Kai
Yeah.
Havertz. Kai
Oh yeah.
Havertz. Yeah.
So hopefully they go and get another Kai Havertz.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who they're gonna buy. I don't know who they're gonna buy. I don't know what the decisions are. I just know that if they happen to win the league or not win the league, they're supposed to be strengthening, and they better strengthen because win or lose, we're going to be back in the gym. Manchester City are going to go. They're going to strengthen. They're going to say, okay, where were the weaknesses this season? Where can we improve? And we're going to move and try and do it again. I don't know how many years we have with Pep. And when you're talking about, when you have an opportunity to be dominant, to be successful, you got to strike when the iron's hot. Arsenal missed their chance last season. City in particular recognize and realize, the fans as well realize how great Pep is. And we need to maximize, almost like a towel. We need to wring out every drop of water from this guy, knowledge and everything to get the success. And we might only have him until 2025, which is next season. So,
jeez, and they lost to West Ham at home. I didn't realize it was at the crib. It was at Yard.
Yeah, but that's because West Ham were still vexed because of Declan Rice switching sides.
Oh yeah, it's when Rice had the bad game. Yeah, I remember.
Mhm.
Hey, John, I'm not hearing it. I'm sorry. Yes, I can wholly agree. If they fall short and it's because you failed to beat West Ham and Fulham, I'm not hearing about anything else. We need to stop making excuses. We need
That's
to
true.
stop making excuses.
That's true.
Beaten, like, again, I'll give them a blie. If they had just lost to Villa twice and Newcastle, I could hear it. I could definitely, but they're two teams who can beat you. And yeah, they lost to Villa twice, they lost to Newcastle. I kind of get that. But I'm not John. You're a Spurs fan. I'm not hearing that, man. I'm sorry.
I gotta say
You'd
this
be
though.
livid. John, you'd be livid if that was you. You'd be livid as a Spurs fan if losing to Fulham and West Ham cost you a league title. Yeah, go on.
I like that Arsenal have raised their levels though. I like that they were the challengers last season.
Here we go, man. You bigging them up.
No, I'm bigging it up because again, like
Go on.
let's really think about this.
I'm still here.
Liverpool were supposed to be that title rivalry.
Yeah, they were.
They were supposed to be, especially this last season. So, and again, like it would have been so. And I'm gonna speak as a non-City fan right now. It would have been a very, very boring league if it didn't have Arsenal in it. If Arsenal weren't doing this, because look at where Liverpool have fallen off. If it was this tight of a race and Liverpool fell off the way they did, these last 3 games, last 4 or 5 games, it wouldn't have been of anything. They would have been mad. Okay, let's talk transfer windows. Like everybody would have been moving on to the next season. But Arsenal, and I think actually no, I don't even think I know Arsenal. They've taken that baton. They've said, you know what, Liverpool, now you're done. Your time's over. We're up next. Well, we saw you try to challenge versus City. You won 1 out of the last 5. Now it's our turn. So I'm seeing how Arsenal are moving. It's going to be interesting to see if they keep winning to close out the season, and I believe they do because there's really no pressure on them. They just need to kind of win out. No one's expecting them to. So we'll see what happens. Final day is going to be a madness. I don't even know. I mean, we'll talk off air because I think we can have some really creative ideas on what we do on the final day.
Definitely, without doubt. We'll definitely do something. Actually, as you said that, idea just hit me. But go on, carry on. I just legit got idea as you said that. As you said that, idea just struck me. Go on.
So what we're gonna have to do is just look how things manage, and I'm not gonna be too upset with how the season plays out if it does end up being City winning a 4th, Arsenal kind of falling off, so it's not dramatic on the final day, or even if it is dramatic on the final day. I think it still bodes well to know that there's 2 clubs competed in Champions League, really only exited to a Real Madrid and Bayern, and we kind of see their heritage within the competition. But it bodes well moving forward. Now, I want to speak on this whole Champions League stuff.
Oh, talk about it. Flo's yours. Big up to Steve for the super chat.
Yo, large up Steve with the Matrix and the number of screens. Man, able to watch 5, 6, 7 games at the same time. Absolutely crazy.
Talk about a true man of football. Shout out to
Yo, real. I want to say, I hope that the Super League never comes into existence.
Agreed.
I don't want this leader of Real Madrid and this mind, this creation that he wants to develop after seeing years and years and years of things happen to just go Real Madrid's way. They've now won 14. They have a chance of winning 15. I don't want to be a part of a league that he's creating. I don't want to be a part of a league that's already manufactured, already designed with him involved in it. Because look at how this Champions League's moving. And I am not, those of you listening on Spotify, I am not watching the final. I just saw Bayern Munich all year long. Every linesman knows it's coded. If it's close on an offside, you keep that flag down and see what progresses all year long. What happens in a Champions League game with Real Madrid threatened with a late goal? Flag goes up. I was like, this cannot be happening. And by the letter of the law, they can't go back and review it because the flag went up, the referee blew the whistle. I am not watching the final. I already know how this plays out. Real Madrid win, questionable call, they win the trophy, 15 UCLs. I'm not watching it. I don't need to watch it. I don't need to watch this. So I'm gonna tune in. I'm gonna tune into your channels and those that would have watched.
Yeah, I will be doing a watch along on the playback people for the Champions League final, by the way, because there is no English teams there. So I will be there watching, chilled out. I either get a Don Carlo, another Champions League, because that's one of my favorite managers, or I get to see Jadon Sancho win the Champions League. Either way, I'm eating.
I think it would be absolutely disgusting if Real Madrid win another.
Why would it be disgusting? Why would it be disgusting? Why?
Because of how questionable their route to winning this has been.
What did they do? Are you talking about decisions that went for them? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about.
Oh, are you talking about the offside at the end?
The non-offside.
Okay, cool. Hey, the official balled it. That's what happened.
Yeah, the official. I thought they were English officials because afterwards there was an apology, and I thought only apologies came out of the Prem. But apparently,
I don't blame Real Madrid for that. Hey, you know what that is? That's on the what's it called? Actually, scratch that. Actually, the reason why I don't blame officials. Hey, you have 180 minutes to do the business.
No.
John mentioned, yes, Vega. Let's stop this. Vega, we gotta stop this now because you are one of the ones who holds your team and players and managers accountable, and that's what we need to continue to do. Bayern Munich have 180 minutes to impact that game. You know why Bayern Munich lost that game? Because they made terrible mistakes in both of those games. That's what happened. Don't make those mistakes, you go through. Of course.
No, they lost that game. Okay. I'm gonna butcher his name, but the keeper Neuer messed up. All right,
he made an awful mistake.
Should have never let them back in the game. He did that. Obviously, he's accountable for it.
And to John, who says decisions can change the momentum of games, absolutely. However, you can impact. How does momentum shift back to you? We've seen it where bad decisions have gone against the team, and then the team who the decision's gone against have turned around and won it. Let's stop, man. Kim Min-jae errors cost them in the first leg. That is not the linesman's fault. That is not the official's fault. Neuer's spilling the ball. That's not the official's fault. If those things don't happen, Kim Min-jae made 2 terrible errors. Neuer made a terrible error. How many goals did they concede over the 2 legs? 4. Correct? I'm correct in saying that. 4 they conceded, and 3 of them were Bayern Munich's fault. There you go. So you got what you deserved out of the competition.
But to your point,
But go on.
To your point, when you mention 180 minutes, you have 180 minutes to influence and win a game. The fact that they got cheated in the 180th minute is why it's a problem. Because they were playing to the very end, and at the very least, it would have extended the game. And anything can happen with extra time. But this is why it was so fraudulent, because you do not raise your flag for those offsides.
You don't.
But conveniently.
He did.
Conveniently.
But we know referees, we know officials that say this all the time are incompetent. Stop. Why are we got to stop being shocked that incompetent people are incompetent? Kind of foolish this is that. That's like Ryan being in the comment section and saying something stupid, and we're like, oh my God, Ryan said something dumb. We know what he's like.
Oh man.
What are we talking? Like, what are we surprised about? It's like coming to Sarcasm City TV and you see Flawless laughing at his own jokes, and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe Flawless is laughing at his own jokes. Where you been? This is certain things you expect. It's like going to McDonald's and be like, oh, they selling Big Macs. What? And being shot. I can't believe you go in Foot Locker and they happen to be selling trainers. We know referees are incompetent. You have more control. My point I'm making is you as a team have more control than the officials over the outcome of the game. They conceded do I believe the decision was wrong at the end? Absolutely. The referee shouldn't have raised this flag. However, you conceded 4 goals over 2 legs. 3 of them were terrible errors by individual players. 2 by Kim Min-jae, 1 by Manuel Neuer. That's who, if I'm a Bayern fan, I'm looking at. I hold my players accountable, and I say this all the time. As long as I've been content creating and decisions have gone against Manchester United, bad decisions, I never blame officials. We played Crystal Palace. It was 1-0. I think we scored a completely legitimate goal. I don't think it was a foul, Haaland.
Okay, I hear that.
And that's 1-1, and that could change the impact of that game. The first time I've mentioned it is now. That game was Monday.
No, I hear
it's
it.
now Thursday night. Because you know who I blame? My manager and my players. But that's just me.
No, I hear it. For me, it's the consistency or inconsistency that's really messing me up. And again, this is supposed to be Champions League. This is supposed to be the pinnacle. This is supposed to be the best standard. So I know how this plays out. Real Madrid have not lost a final, and there's a reason why. I think we saw a reason why in the semifinal, in my opinion. So they have not won. They have not lost a final in their history. So I'm not expecting anything different. If anything needs to be called in their way, I think it's going to happen that way. So I'm a tune in. I'm a hear. I'm gonna listen to your watch along. I will not be watching the actual game. And yeah, congrats Real Madrid on your 15th UCL. It's that simple. That's simple.
Damn. Hey, I'm all for it, man. I'm a big fan of Don Carlo, so I fucks with it. I am all for it. Damn, they have never actually lost the Champions League. That is crazy. That is nuts.
If they make it to the final, they win a final.
Damn. Hey, I'm for it, man. Don Carlo 5. You know what I'm saying? I'm with it. But hey, continue to run up the likes. Hit the subscribe button on the channel, please, people. Continue to get your questions in. To Wumid, who says, Flawless, don't you sleep? What the fuck? Always live at the most time. Shout out to man them still. Because you know why it is? I cater for 1. I actually took a nap before I came on the stream, number 1. Number 2, I try and cater for all time zones. So if you're in the UK, that's why we got the earlier shows, the 4:30s, the 5s, the 6:30s. And then for the US time zone and Canadian time zones, that's why I stream at midnight UK time. You know what I'm saying? To try and cater for all. That's what it is. But big up to you as well. And Warrior J, this is very interesting. Thank you for putting both of these comments in the comment section. United are interested in signing Fulham defender Tosin, I can't pronounce his surname, this summer on a free transfer. That's from Rob Dawson, ESPN. I've not watched a lot of him, but from people who have, they've said he's a good defender. He seems like he's got the correct profile. I believe he's like 6'5" or something like that. When I read that, I was like, damn. So he's the right profile in regards to just being athletic, because that's what our team lacks. Let me just double check that. Yeah, because I'm looking here right now. Yeah, he's 26 years old. Obviously played in the Premier League as well. Would be a free transfer. I'm just hoping, I've said this before, that we're not just signing Tosin because he's been in the Premier League, he's a good player. And yeah, he's been in the Premier League, he's a good player, and he's a free transfer. I've been saying this for the past few days now, and I continue to scream about it more. I'm profiles over names at Manchester United. I'm tired of names, profiles. I'm hoping we're going to go and sign Tosin if that is indeed the case, with a plan in mind. That's what we need to do. We need to sign him with a plan, and it's a profile thing. Tosin fits whatever we're trying to do and how we're trying to play. That's what it is. So the next defender, if we don't get Tosin, should have the same attributes or similar attributes to Tosin. But we'll see. Because with Ineos, I have my doubts. And to Warrior J says, United players think that Ten Hag will be sacked at the end of the season. This is understood to be affecting their response to his instructions in matches and training. Well, they're not the only ones who think he's going to be sacked at the end of the season, because that seems to be the general consensus, number 1. Number 2, he did say himself that the players are not listening to his instructions. How true that is, we don't know. But if that is the case, he needs to be sacked. Get him gone. But players still should be performing better despite whether you think the manager's going to get sacked or not. Keep it stepping. Like that's legit. Go on.
The whole Ten Hag time at United. I mean, I hear all of United. I hear you, United fans. I hear it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like his year 2.
Facts.
Y'all were calm year 1. Y'all were calm
Yes.
year 1.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't like his year 2.
Hmm.
I know that there's certain things in context on why you don't like the year 2. You don't want a year 3.
Facts. Because horrific.
I think this is the funny thing, and you can tell me if you have the patience for it, Flawless.
Go.
But if what I'm hearing is correct, and you guys want you guys want like a Noah's Ark. You want a complete flooding, just wipe out
Agreed.
every player,
That much. Yes, I agree with you. Yes, you are right.
If you're doing that,
Mhm.
if you're doing that, and you're United,
Mhm.
are you waiting for 5 years to be at the top of the mountain, comfortably competing again? Is
No,
that what I'm hearing?
no, because it shouldn't take 5 years. That's a big myth and a big misconception. Shouldn't take 5 years. Shouldn't take 5 years.
Why should
I'll
it
tell
not
you why.
take
I'll
5
tell
years?
you why it don't take 5 years. Let's take you back to a year and some change ago. Believe it was February, before Manchester United played Crystal Palace and Arsenal, because they were close back to back. I think we played Palace midweek and then we played Arsenal away. We were near the top of the table in the title race at that point in Ten Hag's first season. We just
Okay.
didn't strengthen in January. But if we can be near the top of the table in a February or March,
No,
why
you
can't
can't
we
do
be?
that. No,
Why
you
can't I
can't do
do
that.
that? Why
The
not?
reason why you can't do this is because you want all those players that had you close to the top. You want out because you realize they're not
Yeah,
equality.
yeah,
So
100%.
yeah, so they might have been on a little purple patch, or maybe the league wasn't quite at that level yet. But you said it yourself. Those players, okay, you're close to the top, but you don't want any of them.
Again, to
They're not what you
clarify,
need.
no, it shouldn't take 5 years. No, it shouldn't take
Yes,
5
it
years.
should.
No, it shouldn't take 5
Don't
years.
sit. You're setting you and other United fans. You're
It
setting
shouldn't take
yourselves
5
up for
years
that
to
same
compete.
frustration
No,
again.
no, 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 no. It's not a same frustration thing. 2 or 3 years. Yes, 5 years. No, it shouldn't take half a decade. No, it shouldn't be. With again, this myth and this big misconception. 2 good windows, and you should be there
Nah,
comfortably top 3,
man.
top 2. 100%.
No.
Again, it's this trust the process rubbish. If you have 2 good windows, bear in mind, I don't think all these players are as bad as they showing, but it's ridiculous. We've had success as bad as we've been. That goes to show that it doesn't take 5 years. What are we talking about here? In the 11 years we've been woeful, and Manchester United have been awful past 10 because the season's not done. How have we won 4 trophies in 10 years? Yes, they're not elite trophies, but we've won 4 trophies in 10 years, being absolutely horrific. So if we're at a competent level, what could we have won? We've won 4 in 10. So if we are at a competent level, could you say we could have won 4 more? Bear in mind, we've lost certain finals and lost certain semi-finals, etc., etc. And we haven't won the big one. That's what I'm talking about. But this whole thing of 5 years and waiting around, no, myth.
Okay,
No.
all right.
If you do what you're supposed to do, I'm not talking about winning. Bear in mind, you said competing. Bear in mind, next season, we should be, because of this league being what it is, and obviously context matters in terms of it. You know what's crazy? If we had a competent manager this level, we're comfortably top 4 now. What are we talking about? Yes, we are. We are top 4 now. Yes.
But you would still be.
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
What are we talking about?
But listen, you'd want the manager out if you were only top 4.
No, I wouldn't, because it depends on context matters. What's the performances like? Has there been an improvement from last season? That's the issue that lies. Our performances and results have been horrific this season. Yes, nephew in the chat. If Manchester United were performing, if our manager was performing at a competent level, we would be comfortably top 4. Yes.
Okay.
This
All right.
season.
Hold on.
You know how I know? You know how I know that? You know how I know that? Because we've been horrific this season, and it's only in the past 3 to 4 weeks we've actually dropped out of contention for it. It's only in the past 3 to 4 weeks we've been single digits away from top 4 for the vast majority of the season. So you telling me, and top, yes, John, I agree with that. Top 6, easy. What are we talking about here? So this whole thing, how many of, we've fallen off now, but I'm saying for the vast majority of the season, we've been in single digits in terms of Villa. Villa have had bad results. Spurs are still in contention. How bad the league is, Chelsea is still in contention, not for top 4, but for European places. What are we talking
Hold
about?
on, hold on.
Newcastle.
No,
What are
no,
we
no,
talking
no,
about?
no. But this is what I'm talking about is,
And big up Saeed for the raid as well. Shout out Saeed.
yo,
Big up you
large
lot
up,
for the
Saeed,
16 out of
large
10
up,
raid
large up.
every single time. Shout out Saeed.
So just so I'm trying to understand this.
Go on. Big up Saeed. Love.
If your season happened to be like that of Aston Villa this year, you're not demanding the manager out.
No, I wanted him to kick on from last season. So he needed to perform at a better level than he did last season.
And you finished what last season?
We finished third. If we would have finished fourth, but the performances would have improved and the results would have improved, I wouldn't be here being critical of him. The reason why I'm critical of him because there's nothing good. Everything has fallen off. There's nothing. Everything he did well last season, he's doing poorly this season. Even from his substitutions last season, our subs scored the most goals. We scored the most goals from our substitution.
Yeah, Garnacho was a super sub. Every time he came on,
it wasn't even Garnacho because Garnacho didn't even get that many goals. But I'm just saying in general. But how can we go from that one season to the next season where your subs are absolutely horrific? The point that I'm making is back so we don't go off track. It doesn't take 5 years to compete. With 2 good windows, you are competing with 2 seasons, 3 seasons. What are we talking about? Next season, whoever the new manager is, if we invest correctly, I expect top 4, 110%. I don't rate the league like that. I don't rate Villa highly like that. I don't rate Spurs highly like that. I don't rate Newcastle like that.
I need to give you some information though. Here's the thing.
Go on.
It's not like before. Other clubs can spend. Other clubs can spend.
That's why I said though, Vato, in context, it's if they improve. So say Villa improve, or Spurs invest well, or Chelsea invest well, or Newcastle invest well. But I'm talking solely. They're likely, even if they all invest well, I'm still looking at going, yes, outside of the best, because the 3 teams in the top 3 positions are the 3 best in the league currently right now in terms of quality. But this season, if we had a competent manager, we'd be in the top 4.
We're gonna have
at least be in contention for it.
Flawless. We're gonna have Groundhog Day. I'm telling you, it's gonna be Groundhog Day. We're gonna repeat, and you guys and the men them linking up and talking united. It's gonna be the same thing because you can't wipe everything out. You can't have a flooding and have a complete restart. And then expect in 2 windows to be, top 4.
Okay,
that's what I'm expecting.
Again, yes, of course you can, because Villa did it. So why can't we do it?
Villa
did it with worse players. No, Villa did it. Villa don't have great players like that now. People don't look at what are we talking about here? When Villa was 17th, wait, Vega. When Villa was 17th and battling relegation, no one was talking about their players being quality. So how come they're in the top 4? How come they gonna get Champions League within a season? Because they invested well and utilized the players that are there. As bad as the players are, I don't think they're this bad. And you know how I know they're not this bad? Because last season we finished 3rd and won a cup and reached another dimension. And so there is still players who can be used. There is still.
You don't think that 3rd was Fugazi? You don't think that 3rd was Fugazi?
I don't think it was Fugazi. No, I don't think it was Fugazi.
No one expected Liverpool to be that bad last year.
Again, that's not on us. We took advantage of them being poor. So we supposed to be bad because Liverpool are bad.
Not that you're supposed to be bad, but you aren't quite that good.
See, look. I'll get to the super chats as well. Read that.
Villa have dropped points in 16 games and are sitting pretty in 4th right now.
16! It's almost hot. Come on, man. Come on, man. Vega, come on, man. Like, stop.
All right. Okay, so I just to be clear. Complete clear out because I've been tuning in. I'm not if they do it.
Yeah. But when I say complete clear out, people think, oh, like that's in an ideal world. We're not gonna get rid of 20 players and bring 20 players.
No, I understand that, but
like
players that have been successful. But players that have been successful for you in terms of the Rashfords, the Bruno.
See, look, even my nephew's saying it. That's since the turn of the year as well, because he's a Villa fan. Shout out H, that's my nephew in the chat. He's saying it. That's since the turn of the year. 16 games and they're comfortably in 4th place. Spurs, who have been Chelsea is still in contention for a European spot.
Okay.
Chelsea, who are mid-table, and you telling me 5 years? No. 5 years to go and compete? Hell no.
You want 2 summers. You want 2 summers.
Two summers. And then I'm looking at it going, okay, we should be building towards something. This season coming up, it's like, all right, just go again and just become a top 4. Like we should be a top.
All right, let me break this down. Let me break this down like math. Go. Could you go new manager?
Go on.
And say, I just want 6.
Just 6.
if it's sixth, or it's no less than
No, no,
sixth.
no domestic trophies.
Nothing. You got no trophies, but you can
No.
see that he.
Oh wait,
Wow.
wait. What's the performances saying? Because the performances probably won't be. It
I
depends.
don't know.
Let's say
Maybe
let's say the performances are good, but the results haven't really matched it. It's his first season. I go, yeah, first. Context matters. If we
maybe
perform,
you're taking
if
some batterings. You're seeing that he's
to your
learning.
point, yeah, to your point, if let's say we're performing well, and we just are lucky in some games, but I can see a clear style and a clear idea, but the quality of players isn't there when we finish sixth. I go, all right, I'll give you a second season. That's fair. I'm fair.
You're gonna give him a second season
If the performances are good and I can see a clear style of what you're trying to do, it's just the fact that the quality of the players isn't good enough. But I go, you know what? I can see what you're trying to do. I can see that. Cup competitions, context matters as well. Cup competition matters as well in regards to what you do in the cup. Because I look at Klopp. Did Klopp not reach a cup final in his first 2 to 3? I think first, second, and third season he reached cup finals. I need to see progress.
So okay, but I think he was finishing 8th and making it far in cup competition.
Yeah. Because Liverpool were much worse at that point. No, actually, they weren't much worse. But that's Liverpool for you. The point that I'm making is, now I don't think he ever finished 8th. I think he finished 6th. Okay, maybe.
Can't remember.
Maybe
maybe it was Arsenal.
Yeah. You thinking of Arsenal. The point I'm making is, like I said to John, who was in the chat just now as well, it's performances and results. It's both. So if we finish 6th and the results are a bit mixed, but I can see clear style and see that it's the quality of the players but I see a clear plan. I see you do things tactically that's smart. I see you adapting at certain points. I see players, your new signings making an impact. I see you improving the players. Go on.
You wouldn't give Ineos. You wouldn't give Omar. You're welcome, by the way. You wouldn't give Omar a year to bring in their manager. And you know what?
Go on.
Do it your way.
In regards to what? The manager's way.
The manager's way, Ineos, all of their things.
Okay, so I'll clear this up because I've said this before. I'll say this again before we carry on, people. There's over 250 people.
Hit the damn likes.
We're only at 57 likes. What's going on? Let's get up to 100 likes. Like check 1212. Subscribe to Vader's channel as well. I'm going to add the link in the title, but it's underneath in the description anyway. And it's also on the featured channel page. Go subscribe to Vader's channel. Here, the thing is, you just said Ineos' way or the manager's way. No, Ineos' way should be Manchester United way. We are the employer, not the employee.
No,
from before we hire the manager, the style should have been picked Vader. Before we hire the manager, the style should have been picked. We play Z. Then you go and get a manager to implement Z. So, for example, we are going to play possession-based tiki-taka football. Therefore, you go get a manager who can implement that. That's what I mean when I say that. Well, go on. Go on.
If whoever Ineos decide on, if what I'm hearing is whoever they decide on, if this manager happens to crap the bed year 1, you're not giving him year 2. And what I'm getting at is go on. Whoever comes in may not have that CV. I know as United fans, you guys are expecting we're big bad mighty United. If someone's coming in, they got to have that reputation. But if they happen to bring in a manager, whoever makes that short list, whatever, they interview well, this is our guy. If they do that, I just think it's going to be a lot of rinse and repeat. If, as a fan base, you guys don't give this manager time to cook, even if it looks...
Implement the basics.
It could look disastrous.
And implements a bit. But again, if you implement the basics, it shouldn't look disastrous.
But you're a historian, Flawless. You remember some of the chirps, some of the back talk that was happening with Sir Alex Ferguson.
It wasn't 100%. But that was before me and you. Me and you are mid-30s, and that's before me and you were.
But that's still United before me and you.
Different times. That's why. No, Vader. That's why we're able to do the show.
I don't want that arrogance. No, I don't want that arrogance.
And you know what? Okay, I flip it on its head. Let's use Ferguson since we'll use that because you know me, I got a rebuttal for everything.
Yeah.
Guess what? If the manager coming in had won a European Cup with Aberdeen, I'd give him a disastrous season. If he's got that on his CV, cool. Exactly. But
you're not giving. So
come on, man. Like your CV.
Trust me, you're not giving Tuchel a disastrous first season.
I don't want Tuchel. No, because I don't want Tuchel. Tuchel is not Sir Alex Ferguson. He doesn't have that on his resume. So let's stop that. Let's stop that, man. Come on, Vader. Let's stop that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Like, let's stop it. We're not talking about 1986, I believe Fergie joined. We're not doing that. We're in 2024, not before me and you was even thought of. My mom and dad hadn't even met in 86. What are we talking about here?
That's not the point, though. We all start from somewhere.
I'm not giving you a disastrous season. No. Unacceptable at Manchester United Football Club.
Wow.
Disastrous season. Unacceptable.
All right.
We're not having that. No, I can't say we're not having that. I am personally not having that. There's no excuse for a disastrous season. If you implement the basics and everything is done correctly, which it should be done, worst case scenario is 6. Worst case scenario. I'm not asking for a lot. That's the crazy. You know why?
You're not asking for a lot.
Do you know why I'm not asking for a lot in the first season? Because I'm asking for the basics. Have I mentioned winning a trophy or competing for a trophy? Major. No, we don't need to do that in the first season. I've said 1, implement a style and your tactics. They're the two things. 3, make sure that when you are in the transfer window, it's profiles over names. They're the only 3 things that they're literally, it's the same one in the same. 2 things I'm asking for.
Yeah.
Tactics and style, clear identity. There's the word out. Clear identity, profiles over names in the transfer window. That is it. So I'm asking for 2 things. Adaptability, I throw in the mix. So 3 things. I'm asking for 3 things. I'm asking for the basics in there.
You're saying bare minimum basics. Can't finish outside of 6.
No. Also 4, because we might be out of Europe, but whether we are or not, target those cup competitions. So the domestic cups, if we're in the Europa League or Conference League, target them as well. Target them.
Okay, with context, because if he happens to be facing an Arteta or a Pep or an Unai Emery in these cup competitions, you'll understand crashing out.
If we go out because somebody's better than us, I'll accept that. But at least give us a fight. At least you can do no more. That's why with Ten Hag, I wasn't super critical of him last season, because I believe he could have done minus 1 or 2 things. He did the best he could last season, and he exceeded all my expectations.
That's why I'm telling you he exceeded, because it was Fugazi last season. That third's not a real third.
No. Forget the third. Just the way we played.
Okay, but just the way you played. Okay, the way you played has been all over the place. It's been inconsistent.
No. The way we played last season has been all over the place. Last season it wasn't that. I could tell you exactly how he was going to set up. I knew exactly how he was going to set up.
All right. Listen, I know that you guys don't like the injury excuse. I know you guys don't like.
I flipped the injury excuse on its head. We had injuries last season.
You had injuries last season to the same key players.
Who's the key players?
Well, you guys looked a world of difference with your new what do they call?
Talking about Martinez.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't fucking do that. This guy's a cheeky shit. Don't do that, yo. Don't do that. Guy thinks he's slick. He thinks he's slick.
I tried to hold that one in.
And here's what I'll say in regards to that. And this ties back into the new manager, if there is indeed one. Your system shouldn't be completely dependent on the individuals. Because if you are profiles over names, your system should still work to a certain level. Because when Martinez was missing last season, when Varane was missing last season, when Casemiro was missing last season, was there a drop-off in terms of quality? Yes. But did the system still work? Yes. We beat you lot at our place with Luke Shaw and Varane at the back and Martinez on the bench.
Yeah, but
what are we talking about?
Again,
I'm not sure. Casemiro may or may have not played. I'm going to double check that. What are we talking about out here? And we played very well.
Casemiro might not have played. There was also that.
So Casemiro, who's our best midfielder, didn't play. Martinez, who is I would say our second best centre back, didn't play. So we're missing.
You had Fred at that time. I believe Fred was there.
That game? I can't remember.
I think Fred was shadowing KDB like.
I'm gonna check now. I'm gonna check right now.
No, check because
I'm gonna check.
The thing that I just want to point out is it's not it's just simple. You had the same injuries last season, and here's who you have.
No, it's not. Yeah, 100%. I'm looking here now. Yeah, Casemiro did play right. So Casemiro, Fred, Eriksen, Bruno played wide right, Rashford played left, Martial up top. Varane, Luke Shaw as the centre backs, Malacia, Wan-Bissaka, and David De Gea in goal.
Malacia was causing problems as well.
Yeah, Malacia is. The point that I'm making is that 11, I would still want change now in regards to overall. But there was a system in place with that team.
But there's also a quality that's not comparable to this season. Look at those guys. Look at
What's the
everybody
point?
hates Fred. Everybody hates Fred, but Fred, in
Um,
terms of what he did, in terms of being that nuisance in the midfield.
Okay, I'll give you the rebuttal. The fact that we're missing Fred is a problem in itself. The fact that that's a conversation is a problem in itself.
But look at what the manager was able to do with that lack of quality.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's my point. And this ties into the window, and the manager's also a part of that problem because he brought in these new players. And our window, this window we just had in the summer, is one of the worst windows we've had in years. I can't remember a worse one in recent
I got criticized for my window as well. It happened.
And that follows on, because your window wasn't good, but because you were so far ahead, you had that leeway ahead of everybody.
Yeah, and now you had a poor window, and you've had injuries. You can understand how his season from year
because
one to
the
year two
system's
is
not
falling
there.
off.
No, because there's been no system.
All right,
Has there been a system?
I'm gonna say this. Everybody in the chat, those of you that haven't liked your frauds, like the video.
Yes,
you hear the conversation that's happening right now.
Veta's channel is in the title as well, people. Let me get to these super chats real quick as well, because this is good conversation as well. Steve, going back to this, is saying, Veta, big up for the super chat, Steve. Did you see the substitute call made for us? I don't care about the linesmen. We are not victims. Borussia Dortmund won the Champions League. I love this attitude in regards to, I don't care about the linesmen. We're not victims. That's my attitude as well. That's why you never hear me complain about officials' decisions after the game. That's just me. I'm in the minority on that.
Sorry, Steve. 1 second. 1 second.
Go.
You need to relax.
Get back to the conversation.
We'll get back to the combo, but Steve, you need to relax. It's not about this whole victim thing. I played in a Manchester derby where for years I understood the offside rule. I understood it, and I had to witness what was Rashford running towards an offside ball, being offsides, but because he doesn't play it and Bruno kicks it, it's no longer offside. I've witnessed this. You think I'm going to be in this game and then not claim mistakes by officials or not claim that, quote unquote, I'm a victim? That was absolutely disgusting. Disgusting. And it happens.
You're talking about the 2-1 game we just spoke about?
Yeah, last season.
Okay,
yeah. That was
and you know what my point is? You know what my point is?
What, you going to say I had 90 minutes to win the game?
We got 90 minutes to win the game. I got pep and I got all that quality on the pitch. Have more than one shot on target. How about that?
Oh my!
You had one shot on target, which was in the 70th minute, and all that talent on the pitch. Wait. Let me name your team. Edison in goal. Kyle Walker, João Cancelo, Nathan Ake, Akanji, Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Mahrez, Foden, Haaland. You know what I'm looking at if I'm a Manchester City fan at that. How we only have one shot on target the whole game.
You guys weren't even in the game until you had that fraudulent goal.
That is very true, but I'm still looking at my own team.
And you know what I'm looking at? I'm praising your manager to be able to do that against my quality, and you want this manager out.
Yes, because he did. Again, you're proving my point, Veta. If he did this season, I wouldn't be here criticizing him.
He doesn't have that. All right.
He has the same team. Yes, listen to the team. What are we talking about? Yes, he has the same guys. Just Fred.
Nope.
Just Fred.
Did you not mention Martial?
It's just Martial. We say Martial.
Fred, Martial.
Yeah, that's it. We had him last year in that. If you want, that's 3. So 3
Malassi's
players.
Not even playing. Malassi's hurt.
So we're saying those 3 players are why there's such a big difference. That what we're saying? Yeah. Is it? Let me know.
I think we do. I think we do have to point out.
Okay, so you know what? You know what that means. If you take 3 players out your system and it goes from half decent to complete shit, it means that your system is solely relying on individuals and your system is complete shit. It should be a conveyor belt. At Sarcasm City TV, I have a system. No matter who the co-host is on the shows run the same regardless. Correct or not? So Veta, you're on now. Before it was Surfer Rangers. Tomorrow I'll be with the Man United podcast with the rest of the Manchester United lot. Later on that evening it'll be the Liverpool lot. How come it runs the same regardless of who's in that slot? So say it wasn't you because you couldn't make it on and Yan City's there. The show runs the same. You know why? Because I have a system. I have a system. I have a schedule. I have something that works. And I had to dumb it down for people and make it kind of half a joke for you lot to understand what I mean. That I can do this from home. So how come Manchester United, who have spent millions upon millions of pounds upon players, and we're talking about 3 players costing them. So that's like you, Veta, saying, I'm going on holiday flawless for 2 months. I won't be around. And a couple others say that.
Nah, man, you're disrespecting Ten Hag in this regard.
Sure. No wonder you want him to stay. I get it, man. You're a City fan, so I get it.
I don't want him to stay for life. I'm not saying all that.
Yeah,
I'm looking.
All right. So we just gonna lie, yeah? We just straight up
No,
lie.
I don't. I'm not telling you to keep him for life. But
no. Okay, let me ask you this. You could make him sign a lifetime deal at Manchester United. Are you signing it?
No, yeah, okay.
Oh,
I
yes.
would
Right then.
say
That goes to show how shit he is then. There we go. Because you don't believe we're a
no,
threat with
no, no,
him. What we
no,
doing,
no.
man? What we doing, man? What we doing? Talking
There's
about Fred Malacia or Martial, and that's why your system can't be good. Come on, man. What we doing?
I'm thinking
What we doing?
a year one praise. I'm thinking a year two dip. I'm thinking a year three, let the man prove himself. But you guys want him out after year two. I'm not mad at that. You guys are going to get someone else. And it kind of broke down. You know what your expectations are. And who am I to say
But
they're
everyone's
realistic or
expectations. Here,
unrealistic?
the thing is, everyone's expectations is different. I'm asking for the bare minimum.
You say the bare minimum, but it's not the bare minimum because
Let me ask you then, what's classified as the bare minimum?
the bare minimum for Manchester United.
What's the bare minimum? I'm asking for only a few things.
The bare minimum across the board would be look at the disasters that have happened at a Liverpool. Look at the disasters that have happened at an Arsenal. Look at the disasters that have happened at a Chelsea. I think you guys would look at, and again, let me do my homework, come back on the next show and see what was year one like for a club. What was a year one like for a
it was good. Klopp's year one. He did you're proving my point. Everything I'm asking for, Klopp did in year one at Liverpool with that horrible team.
Okay, and then we'll also compare year two on whether there was there was a dip or whether
there was no dip.
That's also Klopp. We'll do the same for Arsenal. We'll do the same for Chelsea. We'll do this.
Arsenal, there was no dip. For who? Arteta, there was no dip. Actually, yeah. Wait, did he win the FA Cup his first? He was in his first season, but it's Arsenal.
Yeah, there would have been a dip. There would have been a dip,
but we're not Arsenal. I don't think Arteta is good enough.
That's my point, and I understand. You guys are united. I get it.
I don't think. No. I don't think Arteta is a good manager. But the point that I'm making is I'm asking for the bare minimum in regards to a style and a system. Regardless of individuals, regardless of quality of individuals, a system you should be able to implement. Same way we watched Glasner at Crystal Palace, and he's been there just under 2 months, and he's implemented a system. Palace don't have quality players that really like that outside of Eze and Elise. And even when Eze and Elise have been missing, they still have a system.
Of
course, but the performance.
Okay, I got you.
But that proves my point is, of course, if your better players are not there, you will see a drop-off. Mm-hmm. That happens. You as a City fan, when certain players are not there, are you going to see a drop-off? Of course you are. Because certain players are not as good as others. However, that's why you have a system.
All right.
Because it covers the deficiencies.
Style of play.
Clear identity. That's what I'll say. I want a clear identity, some adaptability.
No less than 6.
Good results, good performances, no less than 6.
And the following year, he's going to be given a year 2 showing you that. The manager is going to be given a year 2 showing you that. And in year 2, needs to improve.
It depends what we did in year 1 for then year 2. So say, for example, year 1, he finishes 4th and wins the FA Cup.
Yeah.
We then can't drop down to 6th the next season.
Wait, why?
No, like what should we drop down to 6? Why? So why can you go to 4th to 6th with more improvement and more of your players? Unless context matters. Let's say, I don't know, we do a domestic double. If we do a domestic double and he drops down.
Oh my goodness.
Then it's like, all right.
In the chat, hear that. Man said unless he does a domestic double, then things are calm.
No, I was using the domestic double as an example, but just league position. If you drop from 4th to 6th with more talent and more of your players, that means you've got worse results. So something's gone wrong.
It could just be a matter of those around you have gotten better. You need to fix up, and you go on for year 3.
But we should have gotten better though.
But sometimes you can't get better. There's been seasons where you're gonna fall back.
Okay, well, we can't afford to fall back.
Okay, all right.
We can't afford to. Why is this acceptance of, it's okay to fall back? No, we can't fall back. If
you can make mistakes and fall back, what the heck?
Okay, again, who's making mistakes? Who's made the mistakes? The manager.
The manager, or maybe the players, or maybe the
recruitment team.
Your opponents. Sometimes the player on the day has a bad game, or the player in a series.
Well, I'm saying over a whole
a whole season.
So we're talking 2025 to 26. Like I said, how I look at 2025.
Hold on, because this is where I got to catch you. This is where I got to catch all United fans.
Go on,
And
go on,
those
go
of
on.
you listening on Spotify, listen to me clearly. What happens year 2 or year 3 and you win it all, Flawless? You
Win what?
win the Prem.
In year 2.
No, year 2, year 3, year 4, you win the Prem.
Context matters because my expectations of the season 2025-26.
You
will
expect
depend on
every season to get better. We've
No,
established
it
that.
will
You've already
happen in
said that.
24-25. Yeah, if it doesn't, yeah, from a positional, again, this is why context
Yeah.
matters. This
Yeah.
whole seasons are made up of
Yeah.
whole different
Of
things.
course.
So, for instance, league position counts,
Yeah.
cup competition counts,
Yeah.
results count, performances count. So those
Okay.
there are 4 of the things. There's probably more, but off the top of my head, there are 4 of the things I am looking at. So if
Okay.
we fall off, so if we finish 4th next season and then finish 6th next season,
Yeah.
something somewhere has gone wrong because
Yeah.
we've probably got less points. So that means
Yeah.
we've had less wins, which would lead me to believe, unless you was highly unlucky, that the performances have dipped. So results have dipped, performances have dipped, league positions dipped. So
Okay.
so context matters.
Yeah.
What has gone on? Now, if we had major injuries where 3 of our key players have had ACLs and been out for the entire season, of course I give the manager leeway. If our centre back, let's say, touch wood, this don't happen, our best centre back, our best central midfielder, and our best striker are all missing for the vast majority of the season, I give the manager some leeway because that's the spine of your team, God.
Let's
So
say
I'm
it's
not hearing
let's
injuries.
say it has
Go on.
nothing to do with players being
Something's gone
injured.
wrong. All right, so something's gone wrong is the point
Yeah.
I'm making.
Maybe he implemented the wrong tactics and was a little stubborn throughout the season, and it fell off.
Is this
And he
second
fell off.
season or first season?
This is the second season. The reason why I want to do this is I
Go
want
on.
to establish because I've kind of heard you want to see progression. So what I'm trying to get to is there's going to be a point where you will get progression,
Mhm.
but there may be a stumble. There may be a fallback.
I don't mind a stumble, but a
Okay.
stumble, there has to be other good things. That's why I said, for example, let's say we finish 4th in the manager's first season and the results is good, performances is good, acquisitions is good. The next season, you've added more of what you need.
Mhm.
And so I'm expecting better results, better performances. However, if we then drop off in the league from 4th to 6th, for example, but we win the FA Cup, I look at that and go, well, that's progression from a cup perspective. You show me that you can win a cup. Let's say we win we won't win the champs because we'll be 4th, but
Let's say
we
you
win
win the cup. Okay, so let's say
let's say we win the FA Cup. I will then look at it in context and go, I'm not happy about falling from 4th to 6th, but I am happy about no trophy to a trophy. That's a plus point.
Okay.
However, everything can't fall off in the season. We can't have everything fall off.
I hear you. Now
Yeah,
the next season you progress and let's say you finish 4th again, no trophy.
So what? We finished 4th again, no trophy again.
Yeah.
How do we do it? So then that's when I look at how do we do in the Champions League because we've been in there 2 years in a row. Did we go out in the group stages or did we go out in the quarter or semi-finals? How did we go out? Who did we go out to? Also FA Cup and League Cup. Who did we go out to? Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, or Arsenal? Or did we go out to Coventry, Brentford, Fulham, and Sheffield United? All of these things matter. What are the injuries saying? What are the acquisitions you've made in regards to transfers saying? The list goes on. Has your transfers improved the team?
Okay.
Have you improved players around you?
Okay.
What we like this whole thing of it's okay to be mediocre for a season. Never that. I'm from the era where at Manchester United, if Fergie just won the FA Cup, it was deemed a failure. We finished second and won the FA Cup, that's deemed a failure. And I'm not even asking again, bear in mind, people, and to you, Vader, as well. I've not even mentioned in this whole time winning any major trophies. I've not mentioned this. I've not mentioned winning or competing yet in the first.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Exactly, because I'm sensible. I understand where we are from, but what we can do is compete for the second tier and third tier trophies. What we can do is put in good performances. What we can do is get good results. What we can do is have a clear identity.
I love this.
I'm asking for the basics. Everton have a clear identity. So why can't Manchester United? What are we talking about here?
I love this. I love this. This is going to be high energy, incredible content, and I will be there with the hiring of the new manager.
Yeah,
I will be there.
And that ties into it with Ineos as well in regards to I've said this before we get a new manager. The style should have been picked what we're trying to play. I'm tired of managers dictating to us how we play. No. We are the employer.
Wait. You mean whether it's going to be like attacking style or
whatever this. When I say clear identity, whatever the style is. So say it's tiki taka. if it's possession-based football, if it's counter-attacking football, if it's high energy, high pressing, like Gegen pressing, whatever the case may be. I've said this, Ineos or Barada, everybody involved, pick a style.
I think that's a little unfair because there's clear differences between Mancini, Pellegrini, and Pep. And I know that even from like a board backroom staff type thing, you can't.
But that was before the game became the way it is now. When Pellegrini and Mancini was there, and you know this as well as I do.
Yeah.
Football wasn't a system-based game. So you could do that.
Okay.
Now in 2020, never before has the game been more system-based. This ain't the 90s. This ain't the early 2000s. This is not the late 2000s. This is 2024. Systems reign supreme. So therefore, this is why you pick a clear style as the Manchester United board. Ineos, Barada, everybody involved. We are going to play this way, regardless of what. We are going to play this. Guaranteed. Whoever's
hold on.
Go.
If you're going to have an established style of play,
yes.
To your point, you can't be going through managers the way you possibly will have to if it's a inconsistent year 1 to year 2.
Here's what I say. Go.
Because you're not going to have the opportunity to really bring in players that fit a style and then another manager to fit that style that you've been implementing to replace the manager that didn't have the success that you're looking at.
Here's my response to that. The reason why you can do that, let's say it's tiki-taka. Say Manchester United go, we are going to play tiki-taka. This is the style we play. We bring in a manager to play that style. So we bring in players who fit that profile of playing tiki-taka. But it doesn't work out with the manager because he's not good enough. You know what you then go do? Get another manager who plays the tiki-taka style. And then if it don't work with him, you get another one and so forth until you find one that works. Because what we have been doing is bringing in managers. Managers then tell us and dictate to us how we are going to play. And then we have to bring in players who fit their system. Then when they go, we pick a manager with a completely different style. And then the players we got, they don't really want to use. That's the mismatch. I'm saying, well, in regards to if it's too many managers, there's no stability. Who has stability in the world of football outside of Manchester City? Who had the most successful teams in the country in the past outside of Manchester City, because they're the anomaly, are all hiring and firing managers. What are we talking about? I mentioned Real Madrid. Real Madrid is an exception to the rule, chat sport, because in football, for those that don't know, just to clarify for football, there's exceptions to most rules. Like 99.9% of the rules.
Don't include Real Madrid in any of this.
So Real Madrid are the exception to the rule. But the point I'm making is Real Madrid hire and fire managers. Chelsea hire and fire managers. Man are saying Liverpool, and how successful will Liverpool won one major league one league title and one Champions League.
This is gonna be vicious. Now,
okay, I'll kill it. I'll kill this one dead. Liverpool. Chelsea had more success than Liverpool.
Don't do that, Flawless. Don't do that.
This needs to be known. Chelsea people had won the same. No, actually, I think they won more. Chelsea had won even more or the same amount as Klopp's Liverpool. Chelsea hired and fired managers. So what are we talking about here? Real Madrid hire and fire managers. Bayern Munich hire and fire managers, because we live in the hire and fire era, the same way we live in the system era. Pep is the exception to the rule, because there's exceptions. But you can't hire managers. Of course you can hire same amount. Thank you, AA. Hire and fire managers, yes, because
everybody in the chat.
If you have a style go on, Vale. Go on.
Everybody in the chat, please listen. I hear what Flawless is saying. I'm not even trying to say that what he's saying is wrong. I'm trying to understand the perspective, because I see it differently. Now, I will say this: it's going to be an interesting summer, because it looks like Liverpool have their manager. It looks like Ten Hag's out. I don't know if that's confirmed or they're just kind of keep it under wraps. Maybe after the FA Cup, they'll make some type of announcement. But it looks like Ten Hag's out. Even those talks around Chelsea, even though Poch looks like he's kind of turning it around, but Chelsea aren't happy with him, or the fan base, I should say. West Ham don't look to be happy with Moyes.
Moyes is leaving.
Yeah, he's out of there. Even with what's happening at Crystal Palace, I think they're probably happy with this interim manager. But there's going to be so much going on Everybody is in the grocery store shopping for the same ingredients. Who gets who gets what. This talk isn't going anywhere. This is what I absolutely love. And the standards, I get it. Who am I? Who am I to say that how Flawless looks at things and the standards in terms of what he wants for the club is wrong or right?
Hmm.
But it will be interesting to see how the fan base
Yeah, again, say this all
deal
the
with
time.
it.
Fuck the fans. How about you lot do
Nah,
your job?
you're too many. You're too loud. Nope, can't do that.
No, because if our fans were in control, if our fans were in control,
They are
of
in
the,
control.
No, if our fans were in control of the club, we'd be in League Two. You know what I'm saying? So fuck the fans.
No,
I
your
don't care
fans
what
are
the
in
fans
control.
think.
Yeah,
We're
you
not
know.
in control. No, we're
Yes,
not. That's why
yes,
the
you
Glazers
are.
are still here.
No, the Glazers are here because your fans don't make it uncomfortable enough for the Glazers
That's the
to be
point.
out.
That's the point that I'm making is in regards to them making stupid decisions. Don't pay attention to the fans. And in regards to AA, who says you keep firing managers that don't want to deal with you, big myth. That's incorrect. That is just straight up wrong. That's just straight up wrong. You know why? Because managers don't care about all that. You know what they care about? Some of them, it varies in regards to the project and what you've got going on. Also, let's call a spade a spade. Big money. Manchester United dropped the big bag. That's why players come here. That's why managers come here. If we're doubling or tripling your wages,
Oh, thank
what are
you.
we
He's
talking
telling the
about here?
truth. He's telling the
What are we
truth.
talking about?
They're not going to United for the badge anymore. They're going for that payola.
Some, but you're right. Yeah, big wages. But yeah, Miles, exactly. If you're not good enough, you have to go. What are we talking about here, man? You lot can sit and accept, you know what I'm saying, mediocrity and I want to be stability and I be stable and shit. Then I want to switch it up. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? There's levels to this and I'm different to most. I've noticed that. People want to stick with Ten Hag and all this rubbish. All right, you lot stick with Ten Hag then. When he leaves, you lot can go with him and go follow the club that he's at. And I'm Manchester United through and through. That's who I'm a stand of. Manchester United Football Club. All this nonsense about stability and all this rubbish. Foolishness. It's foolishness.
I'm gonna say this: Rivals, Ops, United fans. Obviously, you're in the chat. It's gonna require some patience, and I don't know if you guys have it. I don't know if you guys have that patience. It has to be different.
It depends to what though. Because what I'm asking for isn't a lot in the first season. I'm not asking for
it. It's not a lot, but I hear you with regards to the context though, because it also depends on who's around you, who comes into this league. Like I said, everyone's shopping for the same ingredients. So if arguably there's some heavy hitters in terms of managers coming into this league, the quote unquote comfortably getting top 6 isn't that comfortable anymore because you're going to have the likes of, and I know you don't rate Arteta, but he has challenged 2 seasons in a row. You're going to have, and he has this stability in terms of quality and style of play, but you're going to have an Arteta, you're going to have an Emery, you're going to have a Pep, of course. Who knows what will Slot? I don't know. We'll have to see what happens.
I think Slot will do well from what my people have told me, but that's just me.
Yeah, and then you got Ange, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if Eddie Howe remains. Newcastle might be shopping for someone important, you know, a next manager. The comfortable, I expect 6 may not be that comfortable anymore. It may be cutthroat.
Hey, get it done. Get it done. I'm sorry. Get it done.
Oh, man.
Get it done. Like, that's just what it is. If Emery can do it, we can go find someone who can do it. And I rate Emery. What are we talking about here? And to manage saying 7 managers in 12 years isn't sustainable at all, is it? Yes, it is, because we could have 7 players or is. But hey, we move. United fans are not patient, and that's the problem. They want instant success. I've not asked about instant success. Bear in mind, I've not mentioned anything successful. I haven't mentioned winning a major trophy or competing for a major trophy. So that does not aim
at year one. Not year one.
Not year one. Absolutely not. No, I'd be foolish. I don't want instant success. I want instant progress.
What do you think? Year two, no trophy.
It depends on what went on.
That's instant.
What happened in year one? What happened in year one?
The only way it works for you, Flawless, is if year 6 is the bare minimum, and you see improvement year 2.
You mean top 6 is bare
top
minimum?
6, yeah.
Top 6, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's the only way it works for you. If that manager comes in top 6 bare minimum year 1,
again, it depends on.
Nah, you ain't ready for it. No, you're not patient.
No. Season 2 depends on season 1.
Flawless. I know this, and
it's kind of like watching a series. If season 1 is hot, if season 1 is fire, one of the best things you've seen, 16 out of 10 series. Guess what? Season 2 better be 16 out of 10 or higher.
Like The Wire. Like The Wire. Easy.
Like the Wire. Season 1, I don't like season 2. is a good
Season
season, but it's
2,
nowhere near season 1. Exactly.
right,
My
and then
point.
it got back up.
It's like the part, but yeah, again, but it wasn't that bad. Like our
Okay.
season 1, let's say argument's sake, it was 16 out of 10 with
Yeah.
Ten Hag. You know what? Our season 2's been 0 out of 10.
You're in the final, FA Cup final.
Okay, cool. All right, sure. All right. So all right. Are we gonna win the final?
Who knows? Who knows?
Do
Who
you think
knows?
so? What's your prediction for
I
the
ain't
final?
talking about the FA Cup final right now. Don't do that. We got
Yeah,
time on
exactly.
that one.
Because you know the answer, but let them know where they can find you and what you got coming up. You joke, man. That's why you're laughing
Yo,
over there. Let them know.
listen, everybody in the chat. Damn, this guy. Find me on Beta Games TV on YouTube. Bless, as always. The support's been tremendous. I see the subs increasing, and I know some of you are coming from this channel, so it's always appreciated.
Links in
I'm
the
gonna be
title. Come
doing
subscribe. Vegas
yeah,
channel.
bless. I'm gonna do a show. Probably won't do a show until Saturday, Sunday, but you can catch me. You can catch me on my channel, and you can know the notification because you see when I'm live, and I break everything down. Now, I want to also say this: if you're listening to it for the first time, give this man a sub. The numbers are increasing for good reason. Great content. He gives me a chance to speak on his amazing platform, and we go back and forth with the great talk, whether we're talking ops or talking on our club. So appreciate you having me on. Listen, prediction wise, I'm gonna say we win. Score, I can't. Listen,
Yeah,
the
because you
scores are
got
all
2
over the
games
place.
coming up. Yeah. So we need both. So yes, the Fulham game. Score like
Fulham game. I can't go clean sheet for some reason. We can't be doing those. Away at Fulham, I'm gonna say we win that game. Y'all would be like, Vader, you keep saying this, but yeah, I kind of see us winning this game 3-1. 3-1.
Away at Spurs on the Tuesday.
Away at Spurs, I'm gonna say. Away at Spurs, I'm gonna say. Oh damn that game. 1-0. 1-0 at Spurs. We break the voodoo, but I don't see us scoring a lot. That's gonna be a damn stressful game. 1-0 at Spurs. And we move.
There we go. All right. So large up to you, Vader, man.
Yo.
Big up again. Links in the title for Vader's channel. I'm gonna keep the show going, people, because there's still over 230 of you lot in here.
Yo, bless. Hit that like button, you bums.
Let's get up to
the
100.
Like button.
Like check 1212. Like check 1212. Let's get up to 120 likes, people. But hey, Vader, I talk to you because we'll pattern another show. We might have to move it back to Tuesday for next week, but we'll talk anyway. We'll talk, every time.
Man.
Love
bless.
Big up. Shout out to Vader, man. That's my done right there, innit? Shout out to Vader. Let me get to the rest of these super chats. And then this has been good conversation. I've enjoyed this. Big up to Cheek, who says, Vader, the Bengals drafted Joe Burrow in 2020, and within 2 years, they went to a Super Bowl, brother. I've lost 60 pounds in a year with good eating. I presume here, Cheek, you're just talking about progress, which I get. Fully understand that. And then he says, it was actually within a year for the Bengals. Hey, big up to you, Cheek, man. Much appreciated for the super chats as well. And I go one further because John's saying here, hold up. So that's why you think it'd be a 0 out of 10. You are convinced you're losing the final. Even if we win the final, the season's a 4 out of 10. Last season was an 8 to me. You can't drop from an 8 to a 4. Because the only good thing to come from this season is winning the FA Cup. What are we talking about here? Van Gaal won an FA Cup, and I wanted him gone. And his season was better than Ten Hag's season this season. I am much more. I am not just trophies. I am not just results. I am not just performances. I am all of the above. You can't have one or two without the other. That's bare minimum. Now, if you don't provide that, I'm looking at you sideways. Simple as that. You can't just be well, they all go hand in hand anyway. You're not going to compete consistently for major honors. And when I say major honors, I'm talking Premier League and Champions League without good results and without good performances. What are we talking about here? FA Cup, a second-tier trophy. Do I want us to win it? Of course. Of course I want us to win it, without doubt. But that don't save his job for me because we've had an absolutely atrocious season. It's been a woeful, one of the worst ever. Statistically, the worst ever. So you have to be held accountable for that. But that's just me. What are we talking about here, man? I don't know my life. It's not. It's about progression. Yeah, it's about progression. And that's why when I was talking to Vader, that's why season 2 is very dependent on season 1. What did you do in the first season? Then you your expectations and what you want will then change. But I've already said I want the bare minimum. That's it. The bare minimum in terms of a clear identity, good performances, good results, adaptability from the manager, profiles over names in regards to the transfers. Your transfers improving the team, and your system improve covering your system getting the best out of players who ain't that good. That too. What are we talking about here? You lot get your final few questions in. We're gonna close out. Again, big up to Saeed for the raid. Real one. Only at 86 likes, man. Like check 1212. Let's get up to 100 likes. What are we doing? What's going on? See, Wira said mention this. We used the Champions League final to paper over the cracks in Tuchel's performances. Ten Hag beating Pep in the final doesn't hide the fact he has shambolically mismanaged performances in the league. Exactly my point. Because performances matter. Because there's no club in the history of the top level of football who have performed poorly or not performed well consistently. You have to perform consistently well to put yourself in contention to win the major trophies. There's no team that compete or win Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues that don't perform well. You have to perform well. What are we talking about here? Yes, I am. Yes, nephew, I am doing the I'm doing the Oklahoma City Thunder Dallas Mavericks game at 2:30. Yes. Flawless, sorry if you answered this, but what will be your approach to the Arsenal game on Sunday? Just go out there and apply yourselves. That's what it is. Go out there, put in effort, run hard, close down, run laps. Because Arsenal are going to feel the pressure. Give the crowd something to cheer. Get the crowd on side. Make Arsenal play the occasion, not us. That's what it is. Not the occasion. They let them play the occasion because that place is going to be rocking. Absolutely rocking. Go in there, go crash into someone. As soon as Odegaard gets the ball. Fair, don't go and injure him, but be fair but tough challenge. Saka gets the ball. Rice. Close down Harry. Energetic, but very similar to the Liverpool game in the FA Cup. That's the blueprint. That is the blueprint. Get the crowd on side. Crash into players' challenges and that. Straight passion merchant thing. It's not a tactical thing. Go out there, run hard. That is it. Make it uncomfortable for them because they'll be in second and they know the pressure going into that game. All the pressure's on them. All the pressure is on them. That's what we need to do and make it. Don't let them go out there and keep the ball for the first 10, 15 minutes and quieten the crowd and we're sitting off them and paying them respect. That's what we need to do. You know what I'm saying? Crash into them. Free kick or corner, put it right on Raya and just bulldoze him over, even if a foul's given. Make it into a rivalry game. That's what we need to do. The Liverpool, I'd show them the Liverpool game in the FA Cup and say, this is the blueprint. Because that place was rocking. I watched the game on mute and knew the place was rocking. Go and do that. And if we get a goal up, even more pressure on them because they need to win. It's not like a draw. Just go make it uncomfortable. That's what I would say. Have long shots, man. Get shot on target, all that type of stuff. High energy, everything we've got to be done at a quick pace. Everything. Big up to Andrew, says, is City overrated in Europe? No, I don't think City overrated in Europe. No. I'm expecting a crazy summer transfer window with teams snapping up players. Do you think United will approach the right players? I hope so, Andy. I hope so. I don't know. I don't know, but I hope so. Again, profiles over names. Will they do that? We'll see in the summer. If Arsenal miss out on the league this year, do you see them winning next season? Context. Who did they sign? Arsenal are not that far away from winning the Premier League, though. Arsenal are not far away whatsoever. No. But they've been favorites for every season. No, yeah, they have, but I still don't think they're overrated. Have they underachieved in Europe? Yes. Pep Guardiola at Manchester City has underachieved there. But I don't think they're overrated, no. He just underachieved. Bear in mind, they've been knocked out by the second best team twice in 3 years. I think Madrid knocked them out this season and 2 seasons ago as well. So, but no, just underachieved, that's it. I don't think they're overrated. Still the best team in Europe, in my opinion. They just ran into the second best team in Europe. It happens. There isn't much between them, but I think they're the two best team. 1 second. What is it? What is it, nephew? This guy a joke, man. Yeah, crash into Saka. Make it uncomfortable. That's legit what it should be. Without doubt. We'll final few questions, people. Closing out in the next 5 to 10 minutes before we head over to the playback for the Oklahoma City Thunder versus Dallas Mavericks game 2. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Yeah, I seen it. I seen it, H. I seen it. Ideal summer window in terms of incomings for United. Again, just profiles. Definitely need a midfielder and definitely need a striker. So they're two off the top of my head. Right there and then. Actually, I tell a lie. 1 striker, we need 2 midfielders. So those 3. Do you need a centre back? I like Martinez and Varane. So first choice, I go there, ideal. They're the 3. That's what I'm looking at. That's just me, though. What's the style? Well, we need 2 midfielders regardless of the style, and we need a striker regardless of the style. So that's what I would say. Who's the manager for next season? I don't know. Who they pick? Go pick the style. What's the style we playing? Pick the style and go from there. Do you think Arsenal is better for the Premier League if Arsenal win because Pep potentially leaves next year? I couldn't care less what's best for the Premier League. The Premier League is not my priority, not my motive. It never enters my process. I don't care. Couldn't care less about what's best for the Premier League. What I care about is what's best for the Manchester United Football Club. Yeah, what's best for the Premier League. I want Manchester United to win it. This is all I care about. That's it. Who's the first player you're saying bye to? What I mean by that is who the first player I think will leave. Think. Again, it ties into the manager and the system they're trying to play. Yeah. Don't know. I'm not sure. Warrior J. I'm not going to lie. I ain't going to lie. Manager of the season this year, who am I picking? Has to be Emery. Getting Champions League is incredible. Has to be Emery. Pep was expected to do what he did. Arteta's done well, but they'll finish second. Klopp's fell off. I think it has to be Emery. I think it has to be. Yes, I did see that, Eli. Yeah, Potter was rejected. Ajax flawless. I don't know if I did see that. It was crazy. It was. In my opinion, you need to get rid of the viruses like Rashford, Martial, before bringing in fresh blood, because keeping the duo encourages player power. I don't think anything encourages player power because the manager gives the power to the players. I don't agree with player power. You don't have to play any player you don't want to play. And you can get rid of anyone and when I say you can get rid of anyone, not necessarily removing them from the club, making them leave the club, but you don't have to play whoever you want to play. You don't have to play who you don't want to play, I should say. But do we need to get rid of a lot of players? Absolutely, I agree with that, without doubt. What do you think of the rule changes in 2-year spending cap? I don't like it. I think there shouldn't be any spending cap. I think there should be rules put in place to protect clubs so they don't go into administration. But if someone wants to take over a club and spend $1 billion in the transfer window, let them spend $1 billion in the transfer window. But like I said, put laws in place that protect the club. Make sure that the club's not going under in regards to finances. That's what I would say. That's me. Is there any truth in the Southgate rumors? His agent trying to get him a move or Ineos rate him? Nobody reliable said it, but rival fans are going to run with it because it's hilarious. And if he was linked to a rival club, I would run with it too. But do I believe there's any truth to it? No. Wait, do you think Villa have rolled their luck this season? No, not really. You are where you're supposed to be honest. Now, is there certain games you would have rolled your luck in? Yes, but that's every team that had successes rides their luck. Like, luck is on your look. Sometimes you do need luck on your side in certain aspects. Well, that's not. Villa are in 4th, and Villa will finish in the Champions League spot because that's where they deserve to be. They've been the 4th best team in the league. They accumulated more points than everybody but Arsenal, Manchester City, and Liverpool. Believe you probably won more games than. Let me have a look here. Yeah, you've won 20 matches. You've won more games than everyone bar the 3 teams above you. You scored. How many goals you lot scored? 73. So mine is Newcastle. You're 4th on the list in that. In regards to goals against, you got the 4th best record. In regards, so you're 5th in goals scored and 4th in goals against. And yeah, the table don't lie like that. You've done the business. Yeah. Yep. Should have beat us at the Villa Park, but hey, you have to take your chances. You have to take your chances. And I know there's other stuff that I didn't start earlier, but hey, we move people. I did get to all the super chats, which I did. Yes, I did get to all the super chats as well. But anyways, we're going to close out. Is there anybody live, people? Let me know if there's anyone who is indeed live. There's anyone who's live, please. And I'll get to that. I've dropped the playback in the chat as well because we're heading over to the playback, people, in about 30 minutes. We'll be over on the playback for the Oklahoma City Thunder versus Dallas Mavericks game 2. If you have an NBA, if you're an NBA fan, head over there. If you have an NBA League Pass, you can use that to sync up with us. And I've been giving out passes. So if you want to watch the game, if you come over from here, and just let me know and be like, yeah, Flawless is such and such from like A. Solomon's over there. Like, oh, I'm such and such from the YouTube, and you let me know your username. I've been giving out passes. But if you want the pass permanently for the entire month, people, link is underneath. It's a part of the membership, people. Yeah, I'm going to raid to the Man Them United podcast. That's indeed what I am going to do. Big up to Lex, who's saying he'll be there as well. Let me drop the playback in the chat again. They are already mentioned it on a few occasions. Don't forget, we are available on all audio platforms, people. So Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud. Please make sure you 5-star us on Spotify, people. Make sure you do that. Follow us 5 stars on Spotify, iTunes the same, SoundCloud. Make sure you iTunes. Make sure you 5-star us. Leave us a review. Same with SoundCloud. And don't forget, people, you can get your 16 out of 10 t-shirts, people. You see it right here. This is obviously the white and black one. Link is in the pinned comment for these t-shirts. sarcasmcitytv.myshopify.com. And if you're like, yo, what is 16 out of 10? What's going on? Yeah, it's because this idiot said this shit.
By the way, can I just say, the 2 girls below us are looking 16 out of 10s today, both of them.
Right, all right, big up the panel. As for again, people, 16 out of 10 t-shirts available right now. Link is in the pinned comment. sarcasmcitytv.myshopify.com. Worldwide shipping available. And we're closing the shop in 6 days, people. 6 days, the shop will be closed. So get your 16 out of 10 tees at the great price of £16.10, people. Just £16.10. 2 different designs, 4 different colors, people. White and black and white, blue and white, red and black. There's also the 16 out of 10 t-shirt with it written. Actually, let me see if I've got it here. 1 second. You lot, bear with me. 1 second. You can still hear me. Hold up. Bear with me, people. Hold up. So as you can see, people, right here, this is the blue and white one. The 16 out of 10 t-shirt right there. And as you can see, it's got the little Sarcasm City TV on the I'm saying the logo on the thing there as well. As you can see that, people. 1 second. Hold up. You lot see that? Boom. You lot see that? Look at that. Little Sarcasm City TV logo on the hoodie. Shout out to my head of creative. She did the business. But look, got the 16 out of 10 one as well. There's also that, people. 16 out of 10, you already know, people. You know what I'm saying? And they're all available. Black and white, blue and white, white and black, red and black. I just don't have a red and black one here, people. As you can see. Boom, boom, boom. Look at that. 16 out of 10. 16 out of 10. You already know, people. You already know. We out here. And for those that may know and be like, yo, what's going on? 16 out of 10. Check the rebound.
Can I just say, the 2 girls below us are looking 16 out of 10s today, both of them.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Shout out, Ryan. What an absolute dickhead. But here we are. And big up to Marty Smith. Hey, this, you know what? This is the best. Let me take a picture of this comment. Let me start that comment because I'm going to get to that. That is the best comment. Man said, yo, Flawless. I took a flight from UK to Amsterdam and you still alive. LOL. I'm going to post that on my socials. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. You already know. And Vera says, cheers, Flawless. Thanks for making my voice be heard in the chat. This stream is fine. Hey, man, you asked great questions, Vera. That's why I'm going to get to it. Whether I agree or disagree with you. I love debates because you can learn something new and hear something from a different perspective. That's why I won't just shut people down like that. Like, yo, we're all here just having debates. You know what I'm saying? It's all well and good. And yeah, man, let's get to 100 likes. How many we on, people? I don't think it's enough, but we are going to redirect, like I said, over to the Man United podcast because no one else is live. But the content don't stop at Sarcasm City TV, people. The content does not stop. So, people, I'm going to drop the playback in the chat again. What have we got coming up today, though? Man United podcast, 5:30 p.m. UK time, Man United podcast. So I'll be talking all things Manchester United. Because that's the original. Obviously, this is one of the spin-offs. And then speaking of spin-offs, 11 p.m. UK time, I'll be back, Manchester United Liverpool show. So Man United podcast, analysis at Anfield podcast. And then following that, I believe it is the Minnesota Timberwolves versus Denver Nuggets game 3 NBA playoffs. Let me double check that. And that'll be live again on the playback. Boom. And then following that, on the Saturday, people, we'll be live on the playback because we don't just do NBA watch-alongs over there. You get Premier League watch-alongs. Nottingham Forest versus Manchester United. No, Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea, sorry. Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. So we'll be live 5:15, 5:20 p.m. 10 to 15 minutes before kickoff for that game over there. Then we'll be back on the YouTube channel. Probably 11 p.m., 11:30 p.m. for the Premier League podcast Yardman edition. So myself, Lex, who's in the chat as well, and Kaneki, of course. And then Sunday, obviously, you got the big game, which will be dual stream, people. You got the big game will be dual stream, Manchester United versus Arsenal. So not only will it be live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube, also live on the Sarcasm City TV playback. Then following that, 11 p.m., Sarcasm City Sports Q&A. But all of these shows and everything I mentioned are all on the schedule. So check out the YouTube schedule. Check out the playback schedule as well, because you're getting NBA watch-alongs and Premier League watch-alongs over there. I might do Spurs Burnley. I've not decided yet. It depends. Might have some other stuff to do, so I might not do Spurs Burnley. But you'll definitely get Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. Also, as well, I'm trying to do a breakdown. I've just not had the time of the Kendrick Lamar Not Like Us, Not Like Us tune, the diss track, like a lyrical breakdown, because I know we spoke about it already on the Sarcasm City podcast, but I actually want to do a breakdown of the lyrics, because anytime I mention it, people are always like, yeah, I want to see it. So I have to do my research in regards to breaking down the lyrics, so I'm going to get to that. And in regards to Warrior J says, wait, before you go, how are you going to do the Yardman edition Premier League podcast during the summer? But it will just change to the Euro 2024. Obviously, we'll talk about transfers that are going on, but myself, Lex, and Kaneki will cover the Euros. So we'll be giving our thoughts on the Euros and what's going on in there. Same way with the Q&As, it will be like that, etc. And then obviously you get Euro 2024 watch along. So you get less of these shows during that period unless some big news breaks. So the Euro starts June the 14th, I think. So yeah, you already know. Hey, big up to you, Benito, man. Says just bought my 16 out of 10 shirt. Big up to you. Salute, man. Again, links in the pinned comment. All the information is there, people. All of the information is there. And yeah, Mike, great comment as well. Anyways, let me indeed close out because I need to go get something to eat beforehand. Lex's channel is coming soon as well. He did a live, so we'll be promoting that as soon as he starts going live on a regular basis with that. So go subscribe. Go subscribe to his channel right now. Lex is Lexamate, I think it is. So yeah, go subscribe to his channel right now as I speak, people. Go and do that. Yo, link up off stream. Yeah. Confirm. We'll plan something. 100%. Yeah. Because we can talk on the stage before the games, but we'll talk anyway, Lex. No problem. I'm saying. But yeah, I'm about to close out right now as we speak. Big up. Please get over to the playback. Please continue to support. Much love to everyone, man. You lot are real ones, man. For real. You lot, the way you lot support is crazy. Genuinely. Man goes live every day and you lot are here every day. it's mad, like. And I really do appreciate it, like, genuinely. You help the channel grow, and it is rolled to 12K. How many subs have we? Yeah, we've gone up. Let me see how many more subs we've had. Let me check. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Roll to 12K, people. But like I said, we're gonna redirect to the Man United podcast. But this has been the Manchester City show. Man United podcast meets the Man City podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in.